Bannerlord's long-awaited DLC War Sales is finally here, packed with ships, epic naval battles, and a brand new Viking-inspired faction, the Nords. And thanks to Games Planet, I got early access so I could make this video before release. You can also get a 14% discount with the link in the description. Just use my name Dungalot as the promo code. It's a Steam key, so don't worry, no third-party launcher stuff involved. Plus, you'd be supporting the channel by grabbing the DLC through that link. Since I was basically racing against the clock to get this video done, it won't be as large and succulent as my previous ones, but that doesn't mean it won't include a story or a challenge. Meet Erik Oding, a mighty Nordic warrior blessed with the full war sales treatment, new hair, new beard, tattoos scary enough to make the devil pee his pants. You see, Erik is restarted, and that made him aggressively acoustic from a young age. Anyone who looked at him the wrong way met death, and any goat with juicy cheeks met a fate worse than that. Even the Nord berserkers took one look at him and went, "Oh freaking way." So he was expelled, thrown out, yeeted from Nord society. Now he stands alone in the center of the map with no friends or family. This also means we can serve as Nord mercenaries or vassals, and Erik's unique worldview demands that we declare war on literally every other kingdom. First, I tried doing it with console commands, but apparently they changed it because nothing I tried worked, so I traveled to do the stealth tutorial instead. After several embarrassing attempts, I finally completed the tutorial, and honestly, I can't even imagine how fun this game will be once 4 gets fully updated to the new mechanics. The tutorial rewarded us with some stealth gear, and that gave me a new idea for the rules. Before I can recruit troops or trade with any kingdom, I must declare war on them first. So I started searching for Southern Empire villagers, except none of them were leaving their homes. I guess word of Erik's arrival travels fast. Eventually, we found a group of 23. Erik hurled some javelins at them, but they were way too strong for him. So he fled the battlefield like nothing happened and immediately started recruiting their soldiers with promises of a tax-free world. Then he sold his loot and civilian gear to the villagers and began clearing out nearby looters. All leveled troops became archers, more looters followed, then more villagers. Erik was growing fast thanks to fast mode, which triples both aging and experience gain. Unfortunately, right after one battle, while the party was completely disorganized, an imperial lord with 100 soldiers caught us. Erik positioned his troops deep inside the hilltop forest, trying to squeeze every possible advantage from the terrain. He met their cavalry head-on with the bravery of a man who absolutely should not have done that. After the first charge knocked the sense back into him, he immediately left the battlefield. To guarantee his escape, he sacrificed 9 soldiers. After abandoning our sumpter horses as well, we managed to escape the Lord's army. We refilled the party and went hunting for more looters. Then I spotted a deserter party of 20, mostly infantry. If we could beat them, their loot would skyrocket our progression. We took down their 2 cavalry first, then their infantry line advanced. Erik joined his own men in the clash. They managed to bring down a decent number, but their high-tier troops were simply too much. Another miserable defeat. A few days later, Erik finally escaped captivity and traveled to the lands of the Western Empire. Naturally, we declared war on them too and started rebuilding the party. His fresh recruits wanted to hunt the Emperor's wildlife, and Erik generously allowed them to experience that joy. After a few more battles, we reached Battania, another kingdom, another declaration of war. We began recruiting their noble archers and raiding villages with weak militia. Our Battanian archers shredded them with ease, though a few villages turned out far tougher than expected and reset our progress. More archers joined the roster, and soon we spotted an imperial lady with a party of 30. We attacked. She refused to move, so we closed the distance and hid inside a dense forest. Our archers dressed her troops in arrows. Erik fell in battle, but the day was won regardless. We captured the lady and sold her for 3,000 dinars. Then I managed to sneak into Penkanak by setting up a contact in the city. With this mechanic, you can enter hostile towns by carefully avoiding the guards. Unfortunately, once inside, I realized you can't trade at all because everyone is disgusted by your beggar stench. The contact has nothing useful to say, and while the blacksmith lets you use his forge, I'm still not sure what the point of this feature is. Again, once 4 gets updated, it'll probably shine. More villagers were defeated, and soon we had a respectable herd of horses, giving us better speed and more carrying capacity. Then we stole some apples from more villagers, declared war on the Sturgians, and burned their villages too. Next was the Northern Empire. we hunted down one of their patrols, a special party created by lords to protect villagers from scums like us. Their low numbers but high-tier gear made them excellent loot piñatas. Then came the Crusades. Same drill. Finally, we reached our homeland, the north. Inside Hargard, Eric found his first companion. I won't give companions the names of my members in this video, as I would much rather save that for a future project where I have more time and a much stronger story. Anyway, we took both her civilian and stealth gear, sold them and gifted her a bow and arrows. Then Eric went looking for a port to finally get himself a ship, but even the most miserable rowboat was 12k. He needed to work harder. He joined the tournament and, armed with the North's epic weapons, he cut through the rounds like nothing. Then some merchant waddled over, accusing Eric's men of diddling him with fake money. Eric told the merchant to fuck off, gaining the devious trait. Then an old friend found Eric and told him bandits had captured his family, so we attacked their hideout. This is actually one of the cooler changes they made. Hideouts are now basically mini stealth missions, and they're legit fun. After clearing the first section, you can summon your troops by lighting a bonfire. Then, you mop up the leftovers while the quest progress sound blasts your ears on loop. Then comes the standard boss fight. Eric was finally reunited with his family. His bravery made them forget all about his acoustic behaviors from the past. Then he bought himself a Nordic two-handed mace, 70 blunt damage, for 5,000. Sadly, now we didn't have enough money for our first ship. There was a bounty hunter quest, but the lady refused Eric, thinking he wasn't strong enough. A foolish mistake. We got ourselves a new companion, but even the lords refused to give us quests. So Eric went back to clearing bandits. His new mace was delightful to use. Then we cleared another hideout. During the assault, our first companion got killed. She wasn't that useful, so Eric didn't lose sleep over it. Then our sister came of age. We summoned her immediately, though her skill set was about as useful as the Pope's testicles. More bandits slaughtered. Our Battanian troops wanted to honor the fallen according to their traditions. Eric allowed it, mainly because, why the hell not? While I was wondering how to make enough money for a ship, a marriage proposal arrived for my brother, a 19-year-old Flandian baddie. Eric accepted instantly and summoned both of them into the party. We raided more and more Sturgian villages. Even militias of 90 couldn't stop us. After selling all the civilian and stealth gear from our heroes and their horses, especially Ermguards, we made 47,000 dinars. Then our Battanian Fiend champions started demanding the best food from our stores, leaving the recruits to eat rats and rotten shit. Eric had to sacrifice his butter for them. Eventually, Eric wandered through the port of Tronderlag and bought his first ship for 37,000. Bloody Wake, a long ship with 50 men capacity. Its carry weight was absolute dog shit though, making us instantly overburdened. I thought ships were supposed to carry more weight than fucking horses. Whatever, we upgraded the carry capacity and finally set sail. We caught a fisherman ship, but the game wouldn't let me attack because they had no loot. Okay, but what if I just want to slaughter them for XP? Ever thought about that, Tail Worlds? I returned to land and recruited more troops. By chasing them across the open sea, we finally caught a fleet of 63 sea raiders. As you can see, Naval Battles have their own UI that shows the wind direction. You can press C to change your camera view, Z to adjust the power of the oars, and X to raise the sails if the wind is utilizable. You can ram enemy ships and press R to board them. The naval fights feel super immersive, all the shaking and splashes, beautiful chaos. We won. You also capture enemy ships, which you can use. The battle gave us 3 ships and the battle hull of Kurlak, a Drakkar that can carry up to 100 men. But if you hold that many ships while undermanned, your speed gets absolutely nuked. Before we could reach a port to sell our loot, another Sea Raider fleet caught us. I shoved all my soldiers into one ship and boarded their smaller one to the right. Everyone died. The defeat sound hit, but Eric lived. With a javelin to the cock and a sword to the face, he single-handedly obliterated the remnants. Yet, somehow, he still got captured. By their fucking ghosts, I guess. Odin himself refused such an injustice and fingered the timeline to give Eric another shot. We finally won. Then the game crashed. Don't worry, my mental is strong, especially after suffering through my last Realm of Thrones conquest. Let's try again. This time, before they could engage, my one wounded troop healed, causing the Sea Raiders to run away so fast we couldn't even catch them. Okay, I'm not even commenting on that. Anyways, we returned to the port and sold every ship except the one with 100-man capacity. We upgraded it for better speed and better coverage. Then a young woman threw herself in front of Eric, saying her husband died fighting for him and now she's all alone in this cruel world. Eric told her her husband would be happiest if she just married again, then refused to elaborate further. Then we attacked more fishermen and sea raider fleets. Eric's mariner skill climbed with every battle, making both him and his men stronger in naval combat. He even rode straight into a storm just to see what would happen. It turns out, it slowly breaks your ship. Then came caravan ships, better troops, and much better loot. While recruiting more soldiers from northern villages, a young woman carrying a baby approached us, claiming one of our men was the father and he should stay behind to wed her. Eric told her to get herself a plow horse instead of trying to poach one of his men. More caravan ships got slaughtered. We finally hit clan tier 2, meaning more bodies in the party. I started traveling from town to town looking for a better ship, but nothing beat our current battle hull of Kurlak. Maybe Nords don't have those giant warships from the trailers, or maybe you need to be a vessel or king first, no idea. Anyways, I bought Eric a new two-handed Nordic X for 60,000, then continued annihilating caravan ships. Then, in the sea between the Empire and Sturgia, a Sturgeon Lord with a full squad of new naval units, 140 men total, attacked us. It was time to truly test our naval strength. After this decisive victory, we headed back toward our homeland. On the way, our sister-in-law gave birth to twins. You don't see that often. We sold all the ships and loot we'd seized, and then it was time to find our boy, a mate.
Well now, stranger, peace to you. What is your name?
At first, she wasn't interested and even called Eric broke. But there's nothing a little consistent harassment can't solve. Eventually, she agreed. Her clan leader was a prisoner though, and the game refused to tell me where the hell he was. Then, Eric found out his soldiers weren't even maintaining their own equipment. He burst into righteous fury and educated them with violence. After that, he set sail again to find more potential mating partners. Inside Tronderlig, there was a tournament, meaning the keep was full of ladies. Eric tried his luck with two of them right in front of the one he raised yesterday. Angeja critically rejected him, but Aelba had already fallen for our boy. She apparently had a weakness for men who have a tendency to beat their woman. Her clan leader sold her for 300 dinars, cheaper than a wooden shield, and they got married on the 4th day of autumn. To consummate the marriage, Eric penetrated foe after foe during the tournament. The next day, Aelba was pregnant. Then it was time to take our first fief. Valvik, a Nordic island town isolated from the mainland, had been captured by the Vlandians, so we were taking it back. We attacked their patrol to declare war and wiped one of their lords. Problem: the town had 500 garrison and 750 defenders total. For some reason, they were too scared to sally out. Probably because they had 17 days of food. And if that wasn't bad enough, during the siege, our soldiers got sick. We quarantined the infected, ending with 3 wounded and 2 dead. Siege preparations finished. We built trebuchets to smash the walls. Days passed. Enemy lords gathered around our camp, all too scared to attack. Walls destroyed, lords still too scared. 5 days until their food runs out, 2 days left, still nothing. Finally, the food ran out, and the garrison slowly starved to death. More days passed, even more lords showed up. Finally, one decided to attack, but both the starving garrison and the other lords were too scared to back him up. We slaughtered his force with ease. With only 60 garrison remaining, I started the assault. After capturing the town, our proud Fian champions decided they were done with the adventuring life. They wanted to settle down and become militia. Eric refused. 10 militia were nowhere near as strong as 3 Fian champions, a math even Eric could do. So he threw some festival and games inside the town to make the people forgive him for, starving them half to death. Meanwhile, his wife had already gotten comfy on her new throne.
It's been a while.
Her sister-in-law, sister-in-blood, and his brother were also all comfy, wandering around with their bellies out. Eric cleared some enemy armies, stacked the garrison for future attacks, and then spent the next few weeks getting comfy in his city, from a stinky, homeless, brain-dead lunatic to the independent lord of a goddamn Nordic stronghold. Life was good, until his haunted dreams started. He kept seeing the man he'd slain, painting the sea red. He asked himself, was all that bloodshed necessary? Then Eric decided to become a pacifist and said, "Heaven wishes me to repent. I shall choose the peaceful path when there is one, at least." But right after he made that holy decision, a Sturgian army of 1,200 marched on his town to make it theirs. So Eric recruited more troops and prepared for one final stand. We had 350 defenders inside. Eric parlayed with Oleg. The Sturgians actually accepted peace with no tributes, but Eric's Viking pride couldn't accept running from a battle, so we returned to the walls and built 3 mangonels. I was confident we could win. Then the assault started, and I realized the walls we had destroyed earlier still hadn't been repaired. I looked for stones to throw at enemy formations. None. Eric threw his javelins, then realized he couldn't refill them from the arrow barrels. We were truly spectacularly fucked, no sugarcoating it, but Eric wasn't going down without a fight. We lost Hvalvik and Eric was captured, not able to accept losing all the progress that had taken him 7 years. He simply died from sadness. His wife, Elba, was left all alone in this cruel world after giving birth to their child just 4 days before her husband's death. I know, it's a shit story, but I had only 4 days to finish this, compared to the 1 to 2 months I usually spend on a single video. Anyway, let's talk about the DLC. Other than one crash in our second naval battle, I didn't encounter any game-breaking bugs or crashes. And the naval battles, genuinely fun and surprisingly in-depth. Lots of potential for legendary moments in a long campaign. It fits Bannerlord's gameplay loop perfectly. But speaking of loops, just like everything in base Bannerlord, this DLC also becomes repetitive after a few battles. Still, imagining how fun Shokuho or Realm of Thrones will be once they update to War Sales makes it totally worth it in my opinion. So yeah. I'd say go for it. Again, with the link in the description and my promo code, you get a nice 14% discount and you support your boy in the process. Now, without further ado, I must start working on creating a nice, large and succulent Viking movie. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss it. Thanks to all my channel members and to all of you watching, your support means the world. See you in the next one.